All right. Nicole Cruz RD. So anytime you have the letters that you paid for, this is what happens. Anytime you go online, all right, and you see an RD or something after the name, this is just them trying to leverage people like this MSRDN. No one cares. All right. No one cares about your woke degree. I have a degree. I'll be damned if I learned 99, I've learned 99% of everything that I know in my fucking life based on my own pursuits in college as well. My own obsession with learning everything about training, my own obsession in the gym, my own obsession with writing and learning and writing articles for the school newspaper. I did that all myself. All right. Most universities, it's a fucking joke. You don't learn shit there. Give me a fucking break. You're taught what to think, not how to think. So I don't care about your shitty fucking archaic degrees taught by stupider people than me. Okay. Or you, right? I mean, information is traveling at such a rate that anything you're learning in any school or class is fucking old by the time the sun sets. All right. Things are moving faster. Anyway, if you have RD or these things in your profile, you're just flexing. You're trying to justify your degree. You're trying to, you know, you're trying to front run what you're going to say. Like, oh, you have authority because you have letters after your name. All right. Let's see what you got to say. Nicole says, drop the healthy and unhealthy labels. Ooh. Just like eating a whole tub of cookies probably won't make you, just like eating a whole tub of cookies probably wouldn't make you feel great, neither would eating a whole tub of kale. What? What?
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
What I just read? What just happened here? Just like eating a whole tub of cookies probably wouldn't make you feel great, neither would eating a whole tub of kale. Well, kale is dog shit. I mean, you shouldn't be fucking eating kale anyway. Kale can literally go fuck off. So you're saying drop the healthy because if you stuff as much as you possibly can into your face, you won't feel good? So you're making the argument that we shouldn't call one thing healthy or one unhealthy because if you binge on either one, you'll feel like shit. Yeah, I understand. If I try to eat 5 fucking ribeye steaks, I'm not going to feel good either. So doing something dumb doesn't change the fact that those are two different things. All right, a tub of cookies, and as much as I hate kale, cookies and kale are completely different. Okay. I don't even know what this means, but we have a caption, of course, because you have to explain this fucking train wreck. So, oh my God, it's fucking long. Holy shit.
Don't forget to wash where the sun don't shine.
We got to wipe this shit stain off of. Okay. All right. Okay. So she writes, anytime you have a caption that needs to explain this much about what you posted, it's probably some nonsense. We often like to get into a space where we can put foods into a nice little box and say they're good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, or maybe traffic light foods. Always, sometimes, never. Or maybe traffic light foods. All right, I don't know what that means. Did I read that wrong? Sorry, podcast listener. I have no idea what the fuck that meant. Traffic light foods? Are you trafficking foods? Are you smuggling cookies across the border or something? Like fentanyl cookies or something? But none of these labels are accurate nor helpful. Just trying to be fancy using the nor. I like that. Just the same way that eating a whole tub of cookies probably won't make you feel great, neither would eating a whole tub of kale. Yeah, you said that already. And if you ate a whole tub of cookies without other food, you would be missing a whole ton of nutrients.
Matt Damon.
You make me happy.
Okay. In the same way, if you eat a whole ton of kale without other food, you would also be missing a whole ton of nutrients. Did she just like repeat the same paragraph twice and just extrapolate that same? You just said the same shit twice. Just the same way, a whole tub of cookies and kale. You just ate a whole, yes, you're missing shit. If you just eat a steak, you're missing other things by default because you're eating a steak. And anything a steak doesn't have, you're missing. Okay. Now, if you're driving a sedan, you're not in an SUV. Oh, shit. If you wear sandals, you're not wearing sneakers. Oh, fuck. Foods are not as black and white as we like to make them. We need a variety, and there's space for all of them. Yo, these are just words. What are you talking about? Say something. Say something valuable. Black and white foods, like the black and white cookie that you eat all the time. Put the cookies down. Put the fucking cookies down.
Who told you can eat my cookies?
Or Oreos. Like, just if your foods are black and white, that's a problem in itself. All right. And even if you can't get 100% on board with this idea, it's also important to recognize that labeling foods is simply not helpful. You better tell that to the FDA. It doesn't help expand variety. It just creates fear, judgment, and shame. No. All right, here we go. It doesn't. It doesn't. Do you know what creates fear, judgment, and shame? All right. I always like stopping in the middle. Let me read through the paragraph, and then I'll do paragraph by paragraph. It doesn't help expand variety. It just creates fear, judgment, and shame. It doesn't help anyone moderate their intake. It just makes them feel bad for eating those bad foods. Or it leads to cycles of deprivation and binge eating, or getting stuck in fear-based eating and cutting out more foods. All right, let me tell you what. Do you know what creates fear, judgment, and shame? You are creating that yourself. I'm sorry, a food doesn't create fear. Labeling a food, someone's opinion about a food, you're creating that yourself. This is just victimized bullshit. You're the one that's creating this yourself. It's your perception of this. Oh my God, you're saying that food is good or bad? If you understand, this is why the 7 pillars are so important. If you understand what these foods do to your body, if you've done an elimination diet, if you actually care about your fucking health and you're plugged in, and you're doing all those things like minimizing stress and mitigating all those issues, you learn what these foods do, and you realize there are foods that are good and bad for you. And most good and bad foods are good and bad for most people. Okay? Everyone's going to be a little bit different individually, but that's why you have the power. It's not this fear. It's not the good or bad food. It's not diet culture or wellness culture or cis white males or the patriarchy or any of this fucking shit. Systemic diet culture. It's systemic stupidity and fucking systemic laziness. We're not talking about that though. Systemic victims leads to cycles of deprivation. It doesn't help anyone moderate their intake, just makes them feel bad for eating those. Then fine. If someone feels bad for eating bad foods, guess what? They probably shouldn't be eating them. Seriously, what food do you feel guilty for eating? If you feel guilty for eating a certain food, guess what? Maybe you shouldn't be fucking eating it. I don't feel guilty for a single thing that I eat. Do you know why? Because I eat good shit and I eat real fucking food. If you're eating things that are causing you guilt, you need to ask yourself, why the fuck do I feel guilty? Probably because I know I'm doing something I shouldn't fucking do. Probably because I know I'm eating something that isn't good for me. So instead, like if you're eating an Oreo and you feel guilty, good. You should feel fucking guilty. You know why? Because you ate literal fucking poison trash and you put that into your body. Now your body has to deal with that fucking garbage. That's why you feel guilty. Is it going to kill you, one Oreo? No. But fundamentally, that's why you feel guilty, because you know you're lying to yourself. It's cognitive dissonance. You're trying not to address the fact that you know you're fucking up. So rather than that, just pretend like it's this evil labeling of foods and that everything you can put into your mouth hole should be going into your mouth hole. I'll tell you what, that's how this diseased culture happens, because you're stuffing dirty, bleeding AIDS dicks covered in COVID into your mouth. Don't put that shit into your fucking face. Doesn't belong there. Doesn't belong there. That's why you feel guilty. That's why you feel guilty. Otherwise, you would fucking eat it and not feel guilty, and you wouldn't complain and post about it in fucking 9 paragraphs on Instagram. But it's good content for me and for the podcast, so we appreciate it, fam. We love shit posts. We love this fucking trash. Don't we? That was nice. That was nice. That was probably a solid 7. All right. I'm not trying to fluff my own pillow here, but that was off axis, but it was solid. So you could drop your thoughts below, but I think a solid 7. I'll take it. None of these behaviors are healthy ways of interacting with food. Interacting. Where's my, there we go.
So bullshit. All of it.
Interacting with food. Fam, if you're using these words, if you're thinking about your interactions with food, God. Oh. Interacting with food. How I interact. I'll tell you how I interact. I'll tell you how I interact with food. All right. I did a back and triceps workout, and then I fucked my mouth with like 5 mangoes from the tree. That's how I interact with food. All right. And I had some honey. Boom. And I'm going to have some steak after. That's how I interact with food.